Hi, David. It's lovely to have you here on a Zoom call.
Hey, it's great to be with you, Liz. Thank you so much.
Um, I'm really excited to have this conversation about you and why success is an inside job. Um, just for context for viewers or listeners, Melissa Davies, one of our professors of practice, read David Keane's book, The Art of Deliberate Success, and reached out to him and said, I really think you ought to be working with University of Canterbury Business School's executive education programme. And this is, and the rest is history. So tell us, David, tell us about the 10 behaviors of successful people and why success is an inside job.
Thank you, Liz. And thank you too to Melissa for making the link between us. I'm very excited about working with the team there at University of Canterbury. Why success is an inside job? Oh, well, that's a great question. This is the comes to the core of it, I guess, and that is that one of the things that's really important for individuals and indeed organizations these days is for people to have a really good concept of what success is for themselves so they can fit it into their lives and they can fit it into their organizational goals as well. So it's an inside job in so far as that, organizations want to achieve all sorts of things, uh, strategically and tactically. But at the end of the day, the delivery for results rests with individuals. And therefore, it could be argued that when individuals are successful in themselves, they're productive, they're engaged, they're doing things that they want to do. And the result of that then is that teams perform better. And
Mm.
when teams perform better, if you like, the organization wins. So it's an inside job because we might have incredible aspirations organizationally for what we're trying to achieve. But at the end of the day, if individuals are not performing at their best or living their best lives, it's very hard to have that collective effect. So that's why I put the case then that, success is an inside job. And of course, that leads us nicely to the question of, well, what do we mean by success?
Well,
Which I know is something
absolutely.
that's interesting to you.
Well, it is because the westernized society that we live in, it's very easy to make assumptions when you see external signals of what we believe to be success. So, you look at somebody and the way that they hold themselves, their confidence, the clothes they wear, the language that they use, you perceive success based on these signals that we have almost been brainwashed to think of as these are the things we should be aspiring to. But actually, how often, and I would bet for most people, it's a very rare event that you sit down and go, for me, success is blah, blah, blah. Being able to um, cook great food. It's being able to go out for a walk and forget about work. It's what is it though that is successful, makes my life successful? And I don't think that we really take the time out to do that. And in a world right now where there's so much change and lots of disruption, and this is the way that the world will probably always be, now more than ever, it is really important to sit down and define what success is to you. Which is why I'm so excited about us hosting you and running your 10 Behaviors of Successful People course.
Good. Well, that's the key question, isn't it? As we said, is what is success for you? And it's often been said, that people spend more time thinking about their holidays than they do about this question of what is success. But there are certain times in somebody's life where, events may happen and you're caused to really think about that question in detail. So, for example, it could be some sort of a tragedy. So it could be some good news perhaps comes your way, and you have to do a reset, if you like, on your life. And that's really it, is that when it comes down to it, success is not something that we can compare ourselves against other people, or we can be pandering, if you like, to the needs of social media and what other people are telling us that success may be. In fact, it's an incredibly personal matter for somebody to take some time out and really ask beyond the obvious. What does it really mean? I remember years ago there was a fella, many listeners and viewers may have come across this book already, the wonderful 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen
Yeah.
Covey. And
Mm-hmm.
he has this lovely imagery of somebody climbing a ladder, climbing the ladder of success, rung by rung, working really hard every day. And finally, they get to the top of the ladder and they look down from above and they discover, oh no, the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. And and that can happen to us, is that we're going along a track, uh, especially if we are we're influenced by external things like the opinions of others or social media, as we said, or we're comparing ourselves. Indeed, I would say it's a big factor, comparing ourselves with other people. But then we might discover, later in our life that we are actually against the wrong wall. And that's why it's so important to do this analysis now. And the course then that we're running, the 10 Behaviors of Successful People, does exactly that. So while we're looking at these 10 behaviors, the prerequisite really is to take this time out and stop the clock for a little while and ask this more fundamental question. And then once you know what success is for you, you can then look at these 10 behaviors that we've got, and they're the 10 behaviors is a framework. It's a way of thinking about the subject of success. And what we know from research, Liz, is that of these 10 behaviors, people tend to behave in this way. Of the 10, most people are really good at 2 to 10. They're just really got that nailed, if you like. Then there's 6 of the 10 that they're not so great at, and there's 2 of the 10 that are really problematic. So what we're trying to do in the course is to expose people to the 10 behaviors, but then at the same time not having it so overpowering and complex that it's not possible to do anything, reasonable about it. So
Yeah.
we identify the 1 or 2 areas that are the stumbling blocks, if you like, and then we help the individual to focus on those 1 or 2 areas, for example, for a period of 3 months. And that's then in conjunction with the book that I've got here. And this is the 10 Behaviors book, which everybody gets on the course. But also, as well as that, we've got an app developed as well, where you can actually, it's an instrument, you can measure the 10 behaviors for yourself and keep a track of it over time. And then that leads us into what we call a success studio, which is every 3 months, every quarter, starting actually in February every year. I host a Zoom call with people from all over the world that have done the 10 Behaviors course. And we talk about how people are tracking, how the implementation is going, and what tools and ideas are people using that are useful to share and discuss. So this Success Studio then is a key part of the course because we focus on implementation.
Because it's
and being
maintaining.
sticky.
And it's an
maintaining
accountability, it's an accountability piece, isn't it? Because if you
Yes.
keep going back, you know that you've got to maintain your commitment to those behaviours so that you can continue on that successful journey and you will reap the rewards.
That's it. And by looking at it in that way, then the course itself is the beginning of the journey here. But that's lovely. I got an email recently from somebody that had been on my course 10 years ago. And in fact, she sent me this email on her 40th birthday. It was the day of her birthday. And she said, well, you don't realize this, but 10 years ago, I came on your course on my 30th birthday. And she had been, implementing the 10 behaviors in her everyday professional life and her personal life. And she was just so happy with, I guess, while everything didn't work out as totally planned, she had this sense of deliberateness about what she was doing. And she was really happy that the results that she got over that 10-year period were very much in aligned with her definition of success. So that's what this is all about. It's all about making it happen been sticky over a long time. So maybe, viewers and listeners can send me an email in 10 years' time. I'd love
That
to
would be, I
hear
mean,
about
what a
that.
fabulous endorsement, though, to have somebody, unprompted, unsolicited, come back to you 10 years later and say, this is the difference you've made to my life by giving me this framework that I can now use, and I have been using, and I know that it gives me my North Star about what behaviours I need to conduct and what actions I need to take in order to satisfy those internal measures of success that I have placed, and presumably they will change as life changes, but you acknowledge that, and this is something, like you say, with the Success Studio, you can, it's a journey, we're all on a journey, right?
We are. Yeah,
and you can maintain your success on that journey. Well, I'm really excited, David, and looking forward to having you here in Christchurch again. And so, yeah, we'll put this video out to the world and see if we get some interesting emails for you, and then we can look at how other people define success, and then get to meet some people and take them on that journey with you.
It is, and look, I'm looking forward to. I've always enjoyed running this course. It's my passion, and what I would say as well is that it's not just for individuals, but I mean, I'm really aware that, for example, organisations want to put their people onto these programs, and it's a really neat idea. For example, if you've got a group of people that work together, and they could come along as a group. So although they'll be working on success individually, there's this really wonderful opportunity for people to really understand each other at a deeper level. And then teams, I know, because this is the experience of this program, they just perform so much better together. So it's a really good organizational investment that by helping your individual team members becoming successful in their own right, teams benefit enormously, and therefore the organization wins.
They'll be more productive because they're happier people. It's what it
Absolutely.
comes down to.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome, David. Thank you so much. And like I say, can't wait to see you down in Christchurch, and we'll see you really soon.
Very good. Hey, thanks, Liz. All the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.